Greetings sailors, and welcome back to some more live recorded World of Warships. Thought I'd take a look at a super ship this time, and randomly settled on the Condé, one of the cruisers. I could pick any of these, of course, although I'm not too keen on playing the carriers, but I've not really played the Condé too much, so I thought I would give it a go. The others I have played a bit more of. I mean, the Satsuma and the Hanover have been around for the longest, and I've played at least a couple of games each in the Yamagiri and the Annapolis, but I think I've maybe played like 1 or 2 games only in the Condé, so yeah. So 240mm guns, you've got a really funky looking split funnel, we've got a reload booster, and of course it's got the burst mode. At least I think it's the burst mode, like the Annapolis. I don't think they did anything different for this. Hopefully I'm not horrifically misremembering, because that would be embarrassing. So, a game with no subs and no carriers, which is a blessing in these times. I've already had a couple of games today where it was either subs or carriers or both, and carriers, okay, can kind of live with as long as they're not too frequent, but subs and carriers together are just kind of slightly horrendous to deal with. Not fun at all. Right, so I guess regardless of firing mode, we start off with the absolute full length of reload. I think it's the same guns, the 240mm, that's what the Oricatra uses, I believe. Or am I completely wrong about that? Not actually sure. Quite the array of consumables. Got speed boost and the MBRB rather, as well as the heal and a choice of hydro and defensive. So of course I took hydro because, yeah. What goods are defensive? And I think, yeah, you've even got torps to top it all off. So, yeah, this is a proper top tier feeling ship, I suppose. I mean, you know, it's a tier 11 after all. Anyhow, let's see, I guess, what gets spotted. Parashimas to worry about long range torps from. Yeah, some fairly ouchy battleships as well, if we're not careful. I may or may not get a chance to actually probably use the burst fire mode, because it is something I've like I said, I've played the Annapolis for probably a good half dozen battles, and I didn't really ever get a chance where I could properly use it. Now, these are bigger guns than the Annapolis, but the Annapolis generally is much faster firing overall. Oh, well, you slowed right down. Okay, never mind. It felt like it would be absolutely most useful when it was kind of up close and personal, when you could just aim right for somebody's belt. But yeah, I never really got that opportunity with it. It's not a bad ship, actually, just didn't really feel like the gimmick was that useful, so we'll see if I feel like it's any more useful with this ship. I would like to... Well, there we go, someone just smacked that Condé a big one, and he's going to take some torpedoes. So I can get unspotted and turn. Hoping the Condé actually dies, but there's still somebody spotting me, which is going to be a destroyer. Well, the Yamato's just fired, so let's turn now. This is where the speed boost comes in useful. So, good early kill from the Elbing. That was not the smartest move. Okay, yeah, it's one of the Shimas that's there. Yeah, they put themselves in a position where they couldn't really afford to turn around and get away, although I wasn't that far off doing that myself, so I don't know. Right, Pommern, can we hit you? Not sure. Right, I think there must be one down there, and then there's somebody that's blocking the cap on that side. Possibly the Kitakaze. Given we know where the Zorki is. Harry Poppins, I like it. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I'd get a video done today, honestly. I've just been doom scrolling the news a bit, which, yeah, it's not exactly cheerful for the last month plus now at this point. Not really enjoying living in a... Yeah, what's the Kitakaze? Not really enjoying living in a timeline where there's a fascist invasion going on of a nation and the invaders have nukes. So yeah, that's something I could have done without being, being in that world. But here we are, and I say this as someone who's way on the sidelines. It's just absolutely horrendous and unnecessary and awful and evil, and yeah. So as you can see, I'm just clearly feeling very tippity-toppity at the moment. Hello, Sam. Right, we may get a chance with the Prince Ruprecht. This is possibly a little... rather heavy, We have all these ships, though. If they could maybe... no, well, I think we're too busy. Right.
Alerte incendie.
Yes, Sam, I know. Poor baby. Right, if I hit that, does that... Oh, that's dead on that side. Don't know if that was that useful. Yeah, that's a lot of ships. It's just kind of sad there. Okay. Alright. So much for that idea of I'd push in and then like get people to, move off a bit. I mean, they've killed those two ships, but it didn't do me much good. Oh, I got destroyed by Harry Poppins as well. So, yeah, I don't know if that was really like 50 hits for... I don't know. Maybe give that another go. I think one of the issues with the super ships in particular is you find some people playing them a bit questionably. He says, having rushed in. I mean, that counts, right? Yeah, that absolutely holds up my supposition. Yeah. Go on, Yamagiri, get in there and cap. Shouldn't be camping next to battleships, for crying out loud. And also, it shouldn't have taken this many ships this long to get moving. Which, I don't know if that bodes well for how the rest of this match is going. The Yamagiri left is our only destroyer left. Iowa's probably screwed. Croyson's still got decent health. They probably will be able to get to allies quick enough. But, I mean, both the enemy Shimas are still alive. And the Kitakaze. So, I mean, this is not unwinnable, but I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. Well, in retrospect, I absolutely would have not tried to push the sea cap if I'd known quite how passive that group of players was going to be. Yeah. We were never even close to taking back control. I mean, one of the destroyers got taken out, but both the Shimas are still left alive. So, yeah, with 2/3 of the cap points and steadily whittling away our remaining ships, and only losing a couple more themselves, this was kind of not winnable. I suspect even if I hadn't pushed the sea cap that hard and had stayed alive a bit longer, I mean, sure, I'd have had a lot more damage, potentially, but it would not have improved our map control situation. Not even slightly. So, yeah, I don't know that that one was winnable, although I certainly could have played better. Yes, I know, Samuel, I know, I'm rubbish. Yes, I know. I don't know what he's pestering for, although it's not been particularly nice weather today, so... Yes, I know. I think he's a bit grumpy at me because I won't turn the rain off. And that's clearly unacceptable. I should turn the rain off and make the sunshine come out so he can go and cavort in the sunshine. But I just refuse to do so. And so, yeah, he has to meow at me in disgust. So, yeah, I actually ended up being bottom of that one. That's not so good. That's not so good, but I really barely did any damage there. Trying to get that group of ships to push, and it was only once I died and everyone focused their attention on me and then got blatted by those blob of ships that they then eventually moved forwards, and yeah, by that point it was all much, much too late. Again, no subs and no carriers. So let's see if we can do a bit better this time. I do sometimes get a bit frustrated by tier 10 gameplay, just generally, so this is definitely by far not my most comfortable tier to be playing at. What's the matter, Sam? What is it? He's just a poor neglected boy, you know. Well, at least he's been keeping me semi-sane. Yes. Because when he's not meowing and being insistent about I know not what, he at least is being very cute. Which is just how they get away with being so much, doing so much rather. Let's be honest, it is purely the cuteness factor. If he weren't so cute and fluffy, I probably wouldn't be nearly so forgiving, because I am that shallow, aren't I, Samuel? Right, anyway. Still double Shimas in this game, not dived at least. Halland Schultz. It's only three cruisers, so I'll maybe try and be more deliberately cautious this time instead of trying to push a cap. And I suppose it was my bad for not even trying to communicate my intention, but you know, I was clearly moving into the cap, so yeah. And even if you do talk in the chat, there's no guarantee people are going to understand you, but I should have tried. Even so, it's not really much of an excuse. Is it, Samuel? Is it? Anyhow, slightly, I was like, wait, planes? Did I miss? Is it like a Kearsarge or something? No, it's somebody just using their ASW planes because trying to provoke somebody's AA into firing. It doesn't actually reveal you, but you still get to see the AA tracer, so I guess you would know there was someone there, but if the cap is blocked, you know there's someone there anyway, so... Again, I repeat, Right, any chance of hitting the Salem? Oh, poor Sam! Poor boy. What's the matter? What's the matter? I'm not actually sure. Like, if it's the same AP as the Henri Quatre, I don't know how effective it's going to be at this range, but we'll give it a go. No, don't you be looking at me. I don't like it. Well, let's see if we can get unspotted. I think it's just the Salem. Oh, hello, torpedoes. Proper hydro, actually. That's torps from the other side of the cap, I guess. I think we're actually actively capping, so yeah. There's the Holland. Get all my guns wrong. We might try a burst against the Hanover. which only gives you 2 salvos compared to... I can't even remember what the Annapolis has, but... Okay, that ended up being, yes, definitely worth it. Interestingly, the rear gun... Ah, so it's... I didn't even know that it's... So that's still on the kind of short reload, and my front guns are doing the full... Yeah. Right, I think that's my first proper successful use. Oh, poor Sam. Oh, poor baby. I'm sure there'll be lots of people in the comments section telling you how cruel I am for neglecting you so ostentatiously and so wantonly. Right, well, we've already beat the damage of the previous games, so, yeah. Yeah, see, that's the Halland spotted me for a moment there. Not sure. So is this a 20-kilometer Shima? Is this somebody just spitting their 20-kilometer torps across the cap? Because those look like they're moving awfully slowly. No, he's a lot closer than 20 kilometers. I don't know, they just seem like they're moving quite slowly somehow. Right, don't go forwards, Ruprecht. Samuel, what are you doing? You naughty little fur beast. Right, there's Halland torps. So we can get some shots on the Bourgogne. If you hear things crashing in the background, it's Sam being a destructive little so-and-so. Because I'm not doing exactly what he wants me to do at exactly the moment he wants me to do it. Yeah, I've heard it described as, with dogs it's like you've got a permanent sort of adoring toddler, and with cats it's like you've got a permanent moody teenager. You know, can occasionally be loving, but also sometimes just complete butthead. But you know, only sometimes. Right, this is definitely a better game so far in terms of I'm not dead already. What, cat? What? Right, let us try that same trick with the Hanover again, because, you know, they're stationary. Frankly, if they're going to make themselves a good target, and we'll get all 3 guns out this time. Sam! Right, let's see what kind of a whack that gives us. Still a good, what, 15, 16k? Nearly 17k, something like that, of AP damage. I don't know if it's really worth using HE unless you've got like a destroyer at very close range. Right, let's see if we can hit that. Oh, I could be using my reload booster actually. Poor Sam! Poor Sam! I don't know what it is you want exactly, Samuel, but I can tell that you're very desperate. Oh, we lost the Salem, but they actually took out the... not the Salem. The Z-44 got taken out by the Salem, but that Shima is dead as well. Okay, maybe now I can be a little more aggressive? We're kind of going to have to anyway. I mean, this is not looking great in terms of map control. You're the only one in range, although the Hanover is about to be in range. I suspect if we can get that Salem down though, that will be useful.
Alerte incendie.
Right, I don't know who else is aiming at me right now, but I don't know if I like it very much.
Problème résolu, chef. Alerte incendie.
Right, Habarovsk going for the... taking advantage of the distraction, I guess. Bit of a risky move, though. That Hanover is... Ooh, do I want to... kind of banking on them firing at the Haber. Oh, it was actually the Bomberman that was firing at me there, okay. I'll keep an eye on the Bomberman there. That is the Schultz. Do I even have a hope of hitting that Shima? We'll give it a go. Ruprecht is looking like they're in a great position. Oh, another rune. Yeah, I don't know if this is like we're gonna have to turn this around pretty quick sharp if we want to make this a win. At least I can be satisfied I have done a lot better than in that previous game. But hey, even if it is a loss, these things are entirely possible when you're recording live. Go on, Hanover, go down, come on.
Boost des moteurs désactivé.
Alright, downside of having a large caliber cruiser guns is it does take a little while to actually can we get a chance for the I don't know, Annapolis maybe? This team is yeah, we're kind of rapidly losing this one. I'm kind of tempted to switch to burst mode, but a 40-second reload seems like it's a really bad idea right now. Can at least take out this Annapolis.
Alerte incendie.
I'd rather have the... it should be on HE. Yeah. Oh well. Oh, that's not too bad. So we can get to 140k with that last salvo. Way, way better than last time, but yeah, this team has ended up not being particularly competitive either. In fact, in terms of numbers of you know, kills versus kills, this team's actually worse than the last team. I don't know what to feel about that. Even though this is one where I've been alive a lot longer and actually been in it and been doing more damage and managed to kill, I guess comparatively the rest of the team must have been actually worse than the last game. Yeah, I don't know what to say, really. But it is what it is. Anyway, definitely a much better performance. I actually got to use the burst fire mode to some effect. Go on, Sam, tell me what you think of that result. Yeah, it wasn't very good, was it? Oh, yeah, I picked him up. He doesn't like being picked up. No, you don't. Yeah, well, I went from bottom of the team to the top of the team by not even that big of a margin. But yeah, that was a fairly one-sided game, just looking at the scores. Oh well. Weekend teams, hurrah, and I say that and it's a Thursday. It just feels like weekend teams, I guess. So, I think I prefer the Annapolis overall to that thing, but I'm not super enamoured of that burst mechanic either way. It's going to have its time and its place where you can use it, but the vast majority of the time it's not that useful. And considering these are ships that at the moment you don't earn any credits on, I don't really have that much incentive to play them. So that's today's, thing that I've recorded that was a bit downbeat in nature, but that's how things are at the moment. Yay! If you've at least enjoyed the video and my ramblings, you can do all the usual things to show that down underneath it. And of course, as always, stay tuned for more.